I'm going to dish out a whole lot of pain. I'm going to put this fucker in the hurt locker for sure.
Get off! The rubbish game is over. Rubbish game. Yeah. You're getting it, son.
The eagerly awaited rematch that has gripped the boxing industry for the last couple of months is finally here, and to further amp up the excitement, the fighters have just participated in a heated press conference. The press conference that took place on Thursday night was filled with countless memorable moments, from the fighters stepping on the stage amongst the resounding cheers and partaking in brutal remarks aimed at one another from the very get-go of the conference. Tyson, who maintained a classy look along with his new bearded style, was a stark contrast against the more traditionally adorned Usyk, who appeared to be in an outfit influenced by his traditions. Entering this rematch as a completely different man this time around, Tyson appeared stoic throughout the conference, almost bordering towards looking menacing as he issued brutal warnings towards Usyk, stating how this time all he wants is to get the job done no matter how much hurt or destruction he might cause in the process. Choosing to stick to curter and to-the-point replies, Tyson's answers to many questions in this conference were quite vague, which many think displays his sheer concentration.
I'm going to dish out a whole lot of pain. I'm going to put this fucker in the hurt locker for sure. I got nothing to say apart from there's going to be a whole lot of hurt and pain in this fight. You watch. That's all I got to say. Talking's been done. You know, the first fight I talked, I joked all my career. This time I'm serious. I'm going to do some fucking damage here on Saturday night. Watch me go to work on this fucker.
Though this new behavior might be quite uncharacteristic of the Gypsy King, who is renowned for his quirky remarks and jolly personality before a fight, the higher stakes and serious repercussions might have pushed him to a point where he had no other choice but to switch to business mode, because a loss in this rematch might cost him his precious career and legacy, which he has spent years building from the very ground to the top. Keeping up with this energy, Tyson also gave some interesting interviews before this conference, stating how this time he is only going to focus on the fight on Saturday night.
And I've got nothing to say. Like, I've not all camp. I've not been interested in talking or selling the fight. It's been sold. It got sold last year. This fight doesn't need any selling, so I'm not here to sell anything. I'm just here to just do what I've got to do and go home. Don't even want to be here. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be here today doing all these interviews. I want to go Saturday night, smash him, and fly home for Christmas with the kids. Do you know what I mean?
Being on the same page as his opponent, Usyk stated how after the tumultuous last months that both of them have faced under the constant glare of media and public scrutiny, while still recovering from the aftermath of the first bout, this time all they will be focusing on is the ultimate battle, because no matter how confident and self-assured they might seem on the cameras and during countless interviews that they have given, the real test will be on Saturday night when the facade will finally wear off.
21 грудня в рингу. Зараз шоу, камери. 21 грудня буде все серйозно.
Now we have just a performance, talks, cameras, light, kind of show. Everything gonna be taking place on Saturday night on the 21st.
With their motives clear and only a day left in making their dreams a reality, both fighters chose to send brief yet meaningful messages to one another about how the first fight is a thing in the past and won't be similar to this upcoming event. Telling Usyk to get prepared to get the beating of his life, Tyson concluded his side of the conversation with a thinly veiled threat, whereas Usyk once again used his now famous trademark about not leaving Tyson alone in the rematch, no matter how much he tries to run around the ring.
Can't wait for Saturday night. Thank you, everybody involved. God bless.
Don't be afraid. I will not leave you alone. See you on Saturday.
However, despite appearing almost cordial throughout the conference, the main highlight of the event proved to be the tense face-off, which for the very first time in boxing history, lasted around 10 minutes, where both the fighters maintained steady eye contact in what can only be described as not only an attempt at intimidating one another, but also to analyze the true hidden emotions of their opponents. As the fighters were occupied with deeply surveying one another, the fans and the experts present at the scene were also making their own assessments, including the clear size difference between the two fighters, where Usyk looked quite small as compared to a humongous Tyson, who seemed to have gained some weight, especially in the upper part of his body.
A little bit more. Usyk will adapt as well. I think Fury will up it a little bit more as well. I think arguably this might be a better fight.
A very long stare, that's for sure.
Look at the size difference though, unbelievable. Then this is going to be an absolute tear-up.
This is a long face-off. Neither of them want to break the eye contact.
The eye contact, which lasted way longer than it should have, was finally concluded when both fighters started to engage in an argument and started to throw witty and offensive remarks at one another in a clear attempt to rile one another. And this strategy proved to be quite successful for the Ukrainian Devil, because soon enough, Tyson's demeanor started to shift from nonchalance to outright hostility, where he almost attempted at lunging at the fighter, only to get restrained by all the people surrounding them.
Extraordinary scenes, getting very animated now. We look onto the stage.
There you go, this is good. Brendan there's the Tyson Fury guy. See, you see that pushing, and when you get the arms and it all kicks off. He's up for the Fury, look at him. I mean, you can't, the one thing though, you can intimidate Oleksandr Usyk. There's not going to be, I'm going to be better than beat you, I'm going to finish you. He's saying to us, I just got to do a little bit more. Only lost by the knockdown, which I don't know, but that's what he thinks. But I think he said to Usyk, I'm doing more than that.
With the emotions running high, the promoters and managers took over the conference, sharing their takes on the great battle on Saturday night. Alex Krassyuk, who is Usyk's manager, shared his emotions in a rather poetic manner, stating how this fight is not only about the fighters this time, because, after all, they have gone through in the last couple of months and all the adversities that they have faced through their careers. The fans are looking forward to witnessing their heroes shine inside the ring against one another, no matter the outcome of the fight, because both fighters have already proven themselves and have given all that they had to the sport.
The race is not for the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to the wise, nor riches to the intelligent, nor favor to those with knowledge, but time and chance happen to them all. Ladies and gentlemen, let the Lord bless the fighters. May strength and valor accompany them in the battle. Good luck to the both of them, and let the best man win again.
Being someone who has been with the Ukrainian fighter since the start of his career, Alex emphasized the importance of such bouts for someone like Usyk, who despite achieving all the major milestones was still not recognized by the masses like Tyson and other prominent fighters might be. Expressing his gratitude at this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, Alex also commended the efforts of the Saudi government, especially His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh, in making these fights see the light of the day, because before his involvement, the fans had to wait years to ever see their idols go at one another for major titles and belts.
Besides that, it's an honor to be back to the new Mecca of boxing, to Saudi Arabia, to the beautiful city of Riyadh. It's also a pleasure to be hosted by such wonderful people who we know. Who could ever imagine that a small, common, young kid from Simferopol, from Crimea, one day becomes the two-time undisputed. His dream came true. Our dream came true. His fans' dreams came true. There is a man in the kingdom who has a habit of making dreams come true. Your Excellency, thank you very much. And one more gratitude goes to Gypsy King. We know that he is not very good at making the rematches, but we must admit that courage and bravery lives in his heart.
Being a witness of these immense contributions made by the Saudi government for the betterment of the sport in general, notable promoter and boxing enthusiast Eddie Hearn stated that although there might be some disagreements about the methods employed by the people here, one factor that no one can deny is that all these huge events could have only been possible because of the efforts of His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh.
Just to echo the words of Frank Warren as well, I think this has been the most incredible year. You know, they say, if you love what you do, you'll never have to work another day in your life. And this has been definitely my most enjoyable year in boxing so far. And I don't think myself or Frank or Spencer would have worked the way we have without the passion of His Excellency, because no one is getting myself and Frank Warren up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do a Zoom in our pajamas like His Excellency. And we do that because we share his passion for the sport.
Further divulging his comments, Eddie confidently labeled this year as the best so far in terms of boxing, stating that this year they got to witness all sorts of fights which have not only been quite entertaining for the fans and general public, but have also broadened the horizon by providing a new platform to the fighters and giving them more liberty, something they lacked before.
And these fighters deserve as much money as possible, but we feel his energy, we feel his passion for the sport of boxing, and we embrace it. I think it's also important to say the change that we see in Riyadh and the country of Saudi Arabia. We first came here in 2019 for boxing. I think the country is unrecognizable.
While mentioning the future opportunities for the fighters after participating in such huge, extravagant events, Eddie also highlighted the undercard of the event, stating that even though, according to many people, the undercard is not very important and is a secondary thought, for the young and aspiring fighters, it is one of the best nights of their careers as they get to display their skills on an international level in front of a huge audience, which opens gates of new and more lucrative deals for them.
Now, the eyes of the sporting world will be on Riyadh on Saturday night. So, of course, on this fight, Dev, Johnny Fisher is someone that's very important to us. And Dave Allen is someone we're very fond of. Two incredible heavyweights who should be nervous because this is a platform that they've never been on before, the biggest stage of all.
Eddie also shared his prediction for the main event one last time, stating that though there can never be a definitive prediction about an event like this involving two of the best fighters in the game, one thing that is quite apparent is that Usyk is not any easy fighter to take down, especially if you have encountered the Ukrainian Devil once before. But with true motivation and resilience, this task can become a possibility. Based on these factors, Eddie declared Tyson as his champion, despite the shared hostility between the two.
The one thing I'll say, people ask me all the time, who's going to win this fight? I'll finish now, Dev. I said this, Oleksandr Usyk is an incredible fighter and it will take something extraordinary to beat him on Saturday night. But I know we've had our differences. Tyson Fury is capable of extraordinary things. I think his victory against Vladimir Klitschko in Germany, I watched that in a hotel on a laptop in America. Two generational great heavyweights, two credits to the sport. May God bless you both on Saturday night, but most of all, I can't believe I'm saying it, may Tyson Fury be victorious on Saturday night for Britain and get the championship back.
Elaborating on his choice, Eddie stated that for him, the obvious choice in the start has to be his fellow countrymen, because no matter what, there is nothing more glorious than seeing your national hero return with titles, especially if he has the support of the main organizer as well. And even after leaving this factor out and noticing other aspects, Tyson has never given up in his career, no matter what the odds might be, or how many people might be against him, which is something that makes him even more difficult to take down, just like the epic fights with Wilder and Klitschko.
I think his victory against Vladimir Klitschko in Germany, I watched that in a hotel on a laptop in America. I thought he had absolutely no chance. He won every single round. When he fought Deontay Wilder in America, I thought he had absolutely no chance. He was robbed in the first fight. He smashed him to pieces in the second fight. As I said to my friend Alex Krasuk earlier, I've got a lot of history with Oleksandr Usyk, but I am back in Tyson Fury. Of course, he's the Brit. I've become fond of this gentleman next to me as well, Spencer Brown and the team.
With the fighters and their allies having shared their opinions about this highly awaited event, the boxing community is also buzzing with what is about to come. Frank Warren, who is not only Tyson's promoter, but also his most diehard supporter since day one, believes that this time it will be Britain's champion who is declared victorious based on how in the last couple of months, Tyson has made sure that he removes all unnecessary distraction and problems from his path, which essentially might hinder his path to vengeance. Assuring the fans that this time they will see a driven and improved version of Tyson, Frank stated that after the fooling sound that Tyson did the last time, he is ready to enter the ring with nothing but focus and clear vision.
If Tyson Fury will come through this, and I don't think this fight will go the distance. He's in a great shape, great frame of mind for this fight, fighting mode. We're going to get an extra special event. Do not blink after the first bell. Reduce a little bit the amount of people who are with him. I've hardly spoken with him. Yesterday I spoke, see him, he looks so well. I've heard the reports back and I get told what's going on, but I haven't actually spoke to him because he's shut everybody down. Put his blinkers on. 21st of December, Riyadh season, Riyadh, I'm going to come back and I'm going to beat this guy and take the titles back home. He's a man on a mission, there's no doubt about that. He knows what he's got in front of him. He's shared 12 hard-fought rounds with Usyk. They both know their strengths and weaknesses, and Tyson's been working so hard, I can't tell you.
Reminiscing about the previous fight and the factors that paved the way to their downfall, Frank emphasized that the toughest hurdle for Tyson in this fight camp was to overcome his emotions and regain the former warrior mentality that allowed him to take on fighters much more menacing than him. Frank also stated that Tyson spent a considerable amount of time pondering on the strengths and weaknesses both in himself and his opponent, because the last time he made the grave mistake of undermining Usyk, thinking that he wouldn't pose much of a challenge in the end.
And caught Tyson, he caught him on the nose, and Tyson sort of lost his focus, his momentum, whatever you want to call it. He kept touching his nose, touching his face. And then the next round, the ninth round, was just it sort of wasn't his round, obviously, and then he seized the moment. It seems like he's also always had a winner's mindset, but it seems to me he's got a different mindset in as much to keep himself to himself. He's not spending time with people, not speaking to people. All he's focusing on is this fight. Usyk, he's a total professional. Usyk, he's a top quality fighter, and Tyson can't afford to do that this time.
Talking about strengths and weaknesses, Frank commended both the fighters, stating that this upcoming fight on 21st December is not only for the fighters or for them to get another chance at victory, but is something far more magnificent and crucial for the industry as a whole, because it is not every day that the world gets to witness a fight between two of the best heavyweight fighters of a generation going at one another for such coveted titles.
Usyk's another fighting man. Two noble guys, two great exponents of the art of boxing, the best heavyweights of their generation, the best heavyweights of the 21st century in there. Very similar in their backgrounds, had a lot of problems in their backgrounds. Obviously Usyk with the war and with losing his dad, who he's very close to. Tyson, he's had some terrible things happen to him as well. And they've overcome them. They've overcome adversity. Both of them. They're fighting men.
Yeah.
Great guys, both of them. I like these. Really good guys. I admire them both.
Adding on, Frank also emphasized the psychological impact of these bouts on a fighter, stating that after the tumultuous path both fighters have been on since the beginning of their careers, a fight like this can rejuvenate them, fueling them with a fire to perform at their best, which might make this fight much more explosive and entertaining than the first time.
Yeah, and it caught fire very quickly in the first round. Usyk came out, didn't he? And I think Usyk will do that again. I can't see him trying to back off Tyson, and I can't see Tyson backing off him now. So it's going to be a battle of who can control the centre of the ring and establish their superiority just in the very, very early stages of the fight.
While talking about the differences between the first fight and the rematch, another innovative aspect that has recently surfaced and clowned people's minds, including boxing veteran Frank Warren. AI, which has taken over the world in the last couple of years, has now stepped foot in the boxing ring, where it will now act as a fourth judge, ending the incessant debates about the authenticity and biased nature of the results. While confirming this groundbreaking news, Turkey shared a message on his Twitter clarifying the entire situation. Turkey wrote, "For the first time ever, an AI-powered judge will monitor the fight, free from bias and human error, brought to you by The Ring. This groundbreaking experiment, which won't impact the official results, debuts during the biggest fight of the century." Sharing his thoughts on this scenario, Frank appeared almost surprised and in disbelief, stating that no definitive comment or opinion could be made until or unless they get to see this new judge in action, because scoring an event is one of the most crucial aspects of a boxing match, and any error, either human or AI, can change the trajectory of the fighter's futures.
Just blow your mind a little bit.
It does, but that's the age and the era we're in. A1 for everything. I don't think the A1 robots will replace human judges. Not at the moment, anyway.
Moving on, also believing that this fight will be even better and much more exhilarating than the first time around, Tyson's trainer Sugar Hill stated that after the tremendous amount of hard work they have invested in the last couple of months, especially considering how Tyson secluded himself from the point of no contact with his loved ones, there is no doubt that this rematch will go in their favor. Further elaborating on his statement, Sugar pointed out how the main reason he and his team are so confident is because of the relentless work and countless meticulous improvements they have made after closely analyzing the previous fight.
He's definitely going to win. I mean, there's other things in life that he likes and wants to achieve at, but yeah, winning would be one of those things as well. People do different things to motivate them or to help them achieve some kind of a goal, and in his mind, he wanted to do things different. He wanted to put himself in a very uncomfortable position to make himself get comfortable. I wish I could say more, but that's pretty much it, without me adding on to it and trying to make it sound more glamorous or trying to explain it anymore. It's that simple. He wanted to be uncomfortable to focus on being a better version of himself.
Along with these statements, Sugar also addressed the incessant weight gain suspicion that has been going around on social media. According to Sugar, although the weight gain Tyson is not really quite noticeable, the fact that it is being highlighted so much is odd, because at heavyweight there is no such thing as weight restriction, so to say that this new move by Tyson is wrong is nothing but a tactic to deter the focus from the fight. He also stated how even if Tyson comes in this fight bigger than before, size won't be his biggest weapon, because he allegedly has skills that are far superior to any other fighter in the division.
Listen, I've never, in the heavyweight division, I've never tried to have a fighter come in at a certain weight. I only want him to weigh whatever makes him perform the best. That's it. It's it, and that's simple for me. Heavyweight is no weight limit, so other weight divisions, they have to stay comfortable. They have to train at a certain weight, make a weight, and then be able to perform at that weight. Well, the heavyweight division, you can just perform at that weight, train at that weight, and stay at that weight.
Looking forward to what they might be able to accomplish on fight night by utilizing these elusive game plans, Sugar appeared excited for the challenge that lay ahead of him, stating that even though there is a certain element of nervousness before any fight of this caliber, if the preparation of up to the required standards and the fighters is ready, then there is nothing that can stand in his way of victory, which in this case will be very significant for Fury, especially after the humbling last loss he faced way back in May.
I guess for everyone watching and knowing his character and how he normally acts, it's different, and he's shown some change. And the change has been good. I'm happy with everything he's been doing for preparation up until now. Just if you don't want to talk, you don't want to talk. I mean, for me, I know he's definitely focused and ready for the fight, the same as I am. It's Tuesday here now, and me or him can't wait till Saturday. I mean, we just have these days in between leading up to the fight, because every day at a time. But Saturday is definitely a eager date.
So in the end, what do you guys think about this highly anticipated fight on Saturday night? And what do you feel after watching this entertaining press conference between them? Who do you think will win this time around? Will it be the scary Ukrainian once again, or will the Gypsy King finally persevere this time around? Make sure to tell us about your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to our channel.